where the receipt is available to make the payment to them. So like this, automatically this liquidator's final statement of account we has to tally, that is the receipts to tally with the total payments made by the liquidator here. So this is the order of payment to be very strictly followed as per the Companies Act of 2013. Now let us now to illustrate this, we'll take a problem now. Okay, the problem is like this here. Prepare a liquidator statement from the following. So the what is given here is the amount of creditors is given, that is given as rupees 90,000. So of course this is this is just given as creditors, and nothing is stated whether it is a fully secured creditor or unsecured creditor or preferential creditor. So that means whenever it is given as creditors, then it has to be always considered as unsecured creditors, unless and until it is told or it is clearly stated that it is secured creditors. And then the second one is preferential creditors amounting to rupees 5,000, and then we have debentures having floating charge rupees 75,000, assets realized by the liquidator rupees 1,30,000, and cash in hand rupees 8,000, liquidation expenses rupees 3,200, and the liquidator is entitled to a commission like this, that is 2% on the assets realized and then 3% on the amount paid to unsecured creditors, and this is given as excluding preferential creditors. That means this 3% is to be calculated only on other unsecured creditors, because the preferential creditors are excluded here. So that is why it is excluding preferential creditors. Okay, let us now check this with solving the problem here. So we have to first of all enter the receipts, and we'll take the receipts. We'll take the receipts as per the format here. The first receipt to be taken is the cash in hand. Cash in hand, let us check here. Says cash in hand is given as rupees 8,000. So we'll take 8,000 here. And the second payment is cash at bank. Cash at bank is not there. Okay, let us put a dash here. And then assets realized. Assets realized. Under assets realized, we have to enter all the various assets given, like land and buildings, plant and machinery, furniture, tools and equipments, motor vehicles, etc. But here the total consolidated amount of assets realized by the liquidator is given as 1,30,000. So let us just take it as assets, the amount of asset realized as 1,30,000. And these are the only two receipts we have in this problem. And let us go to the payment side now. The first payment to be made is to the fully secured creditors. Fully secured creditors, since it is given as just creditors, so we don't have fully secured creditors here. Okay, just put a dash here. And the second payment is the payment to be made to liquidation expenses. Liquidation expenses, let us check here. Liquidation expenditure is given as 3,200. Okay, let us enter 3,200 here. And then the liquidator's remuneration, let us check on what accounts the liquidator is to be paid commission here. See here, we have to make a payment of liquidator's remuneration at the rate of 2% on the assets realized by him. So let us enter it as 2% on asset realized. So since we know the amount of asset realized, we'll just take it as 2% on 1,30,000. 2% on 1,30,000. Okay, this will be 2,600, and then 3% on amount paid to unsecured creditors excluding preferential creditors. And right now we don't know what exactly the amount paid to the unsecured creditors here, so there let us put a dash here and leave it blank, and we'll, so as soon as we make the payment to the unsecured creditors, we can calculate the commission here. We can come back here. And the next payment to be made as per the standard format is the debentures here. Debentures having a floating charge. Debentures having a floating charge is also given as 75,000 here. So take it as 75,000, and then preferential creditors is given exclusively apart from creditors here, that means apart from other unsecured creditors. So therefore let us take it as preferential creditors. The next payment to be made is the outstanding interest on debentures. Outstanding interest on debentures is not given. Okay, let us put a dash here, and then let us go to the preferential creditors. Preferential creditors is given as rupees 5,000. Okay, enter 5,000 here, and then we have to make the payment to other unsecured creditors. To other unsecured creditors, we don't know what amount is to be paid here, and we have to check the amount available here. So let us go to the total receipts here. The total receipt, that is cash in hand and the asset raised, both put together is, this is 130 plus 8, that comes to 1,38,000 here. And now let us check the amount available here. 1,38,000 minus whatever the payment made up to this level. Okay, this we can call it as total receipts. Total receipts and minus total payments made until this step. So we made a payment of 3,200, 2,600, 75,000 to debentures, and then 5,000 to preferential creditors. Since preferential creditors do not carry any commission here, the payment of preferential creditors do not carry any commission, so we can also include preferential creditors here. So the both put here, 75,000 plus 5 will be 80,000. 80,000 plus 3,000 plus 2,000 is 85,800. So this comes to, total comes to 85,800. And now let us check the balance here is 200. So this comes to 52,200. So this is the amount available now. So this is the actual amount available to make the payments, but whereas the actual payment outstanding to other unsecured creditors is 90,000. So now where is 90,000 with us? So we have only 52,000. So this 90,000 cannot be paid. So therefore at this level we have to always check with the total receipts available to make the payment. Now we have only 52,200 here. Now out of this 52,200 we have to make the payment to unsecured creditors, and as well as we have to make a payment of commission. Both are to be paid out of this amount only. This is the only amount available with us. So therefore, we have to make the payment out of these two amounts. Out of this amount is, assume that if we pay 100 rupees to the unsecured creditors, you have to pay 3 rupees as a commission, as it is given in the problem. So therefore, now let us consider it as this 52,200 is equal to 103%. Now let us calculate how much will be 100% of it. So if we calculate 100% of that, 52,200 into 3% of that comes to 1,566. This comes to 1,566. 52,200 into 3%. Yes, 1,566 minus 52,200. That is 50,634. This is 50,634. So this will be, now let us take it as the amount that can be paid to the unsecured creditors is only 50,634. 50,634 can be paid to the other unsecured creditors. So I will enter that amount here. This is 50,634, and whatever the amount paid to unsecured creditors, on that amount we have to calculate 3% of commission to the liquidator. So now 50,634 is paid to them. So I will write it as 3% on 50,634. So on this amount calculate 3%, so that will be 1,566. So enter 1,566 here. Now we have to check the total receipts here. So if we check the total receipt, it must be equal to 1,38,000. So automatically it will tally. That is how it has to be calculated. So we have following the order of the payment, as well as we have to satisfy whatever is given in the problem also. So like this, we have to calculate the commission in case where the total receipts available is not sufficient to make the full payment of other unsecured creditors. So this is how it has to be treated. So now let's go to one more problem. I'll take another problem now.